Yeah! Hey! Hey! Yaya Diamonds, dream chasers, we won't wait. Subscribe today before it's too late. Inspiration flowing just like the breeze. Chase your dreams and feel at ease.
Be good. Be very good.
I'm trying.
That's trying.
I don't know. I don't know if I can be very good. I can try. I can definitely try. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And don't forget that you are watching and listening all over the world to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. I have an amazing guest on the show today. He is all the way across the pond. I like saying that. I don't know why, but that's kind of cool. I was raised on tour with my mom, and we went to the UK and Germany and all other kind of places all over the world. And I'm just so excited when I have someone from another country talk about their book and talk about what they're doing in their lives. I hope this inspires you. And I want to welcome our guest to the show today, Alan. Alan, how do you pronounce your last name?
Well, it's just Haigh, Tillotson.
Ah, there
Haig's
you go.
difficult, isn't it? But that's how you pronounce it. It's a Yorkshire name, I think, Haigh.
Yorkshire.
Right.
I like that. I like that. So tell me, this is the common question, and I always ask this question. It's not something with science or anything like that. It's just, when did you know that you were going to be able to, or you were going to write a book?
I think I've always known that I was going to write a book. And it's something, I've had a right adventurous life, and it was all leading up to writing at the end of it. I've seen several clairvoyants, and every one of them has referred me at the end of my life that I'll be doing a very important work with writing. So it's intrigued me, but I've always been a watcher, really. I've always watched life and what the humans are doing, because I never see myself as one of the human race. I always feel out of place here in the world.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to explain, but I mean, some people are just. It's to do with what I believe in astrology, you see, and I think my planets are in a special place. So, and it's just this is for the last few years I've just written, really, I suppose, and it just comes out of me. It's not as though I have to sort of think about it. It just pours out of me, the writing.
Right. Wow. Wow. Okay. So I have a few questions for you today, and I hope that we'll be able to kind of touch on what it is that you have experienced for your life that you feel like you are not a part of the human race. I kind of felt that way for a very long time as well.
Um,
I just really think that the body is weird, and why am I in one? you know what is this? I've always felt very out of place and very weird, and kind of I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you can explain it better. But since your early age, you described glimpses of a world that felt beyond ordinary perception. How did that childhood experience shape your sense of story and meaning?
well, you just have to learn to live with it. It depends on your father, really. My father was a strict disciplinarian, and if I ran into their bedroom to say that I'd had a nightmare when there was a ghost standing at the end of my bed, I just got told to go back to bed. So, and this sort of thing's happened all through my childhood and my life as well. So eventually you get used to it. I mean, it's a blessing in a way because it reassures you that this is just an illusion and that when you snuff it, you're going to go back to reality again.
Isn't that
So,
kind of wow? I thought that too. Wow. Wow.
and
Someone who thinks like you're
it
weird.
stops you taking life too seriously. Really,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it's a blessing, isn't it?
It is. It is. It really is. I never met anyone that kind of, believes like I believe and understands like I understand. Wow.
No.
That is so okay, so imagination, as a child and everything, but now you've grown up and you grew up in Yorkshire, and oh my gosh, Yorkshire is beautiful. How did that translate to your imaginary world or your imagination, I would say?
Well, I don't know. I've always had a great imagination, and the fact that I see spirits and stuff has just made me imagination sort of more wider than most people's, I suppose. And the reality of the world is different in my eyes to what it is with most people's eyes. So it makes it easier to write because I don't have to make things up. I just put on the page what I'm actually seeing and what I've experienced. So
Mhm.
it's a release, I suppose, because I'm trying to tell people not to take life too seriously, especially, I think the computers have ruined the human race, to be honest. And my writing this children's story, I'm trying to encourage children to stop looking at the mobile phones all the time and start going out and playing in the woods again.
Mhm.
Because we're losing personality due to the fact we're staring at the mobile phone all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just sound like an old gimmer and everything, but it just seems tragic to me. You
Yeah.
see somebody pushing a baby along in a pram, and they're pushing it with one hand and talking in the mobile phone with the other. So what's the poor baby think when he's just getting ignored, or she's just getting ignored?
Mm.
So that's why I've written this adventure story. It's been in me all the time, and I'm halfway through the sequel as well. So it's not that I'm sort of going to run out of adventures. You know what I mean? But that's me and my brother had adventures all through our childhood, and it's basically based on those.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And before we started the show, you said you were clairvoyant. When you talk like, I see the spirits, and all that. Did you put that into the book? Was that a factor by which you wrote this book as well?
Well, it was easy to write it and think of and imagine monsters and spirits and stuff like that because I'd actually seen them. But
Mm,
I had to make it. I think it wasn't all there. You just have to use your imagination, don't you,
yeah.
and make the story up. But it was easier for me because I could include experiences that I'd actually had.
Hmm.
You
Wow.
know,
Wow. Wow. That is kind of cool. I like that. I really do. I know that they're there. I've heard them when I was young, but I don't hear them anymore. But I've heard spirits talk when I was young.
yeah, yeah. Well, you've got human nature. There's 7 different types of human nature, and they say birds of a feather flock together. So you actually recognise people that you know you're going to get on with, don't you? It's like seeing you. I immediately recognise you as somebody who was quite spiritual, and purely because that's the gift that I've been given. So it was nice to see you straight away because I thought, well, thank goodness for that because we've got a lot in common. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether you think the same thing about me, but I'm
Yeah,
very relieved to have found somebody like you to do this interview because I'm rubbish at things like this.
I
I'd rather
know.
be eye to eye without any computer or anything between us. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
wonderful. It is wonderful. So, wow. If you had to describe the emotional atmosphere of this book, of this screenplay in 3 words, just three, what would they
mm,
be?
I don't know. I've written it down. I've written it down somewhere.
You know what? Sometimes it's even hard to
Yeah,
remember because there's so many words coming
yeah,
at you
three
as
words. I put
you know.
excitement, fascination, and enchantment. That's what I put for the
Ah,
3 words. Because it's
nice.
for children, really. But I mean, I'm sure the mum and dad would be quite, entertained by it as well.
Hmm. So you're writing about brothers, right? This is
Yeah.
called Brotherly Love. Show me the book. Let me see that book. That is sweet. Book and the cover and the recognition is so good to see because then people know what it looks like. But
Well,
okay, so you have Brotherly Love. What's the full title?
it's the Red Knight's Tale. Brotherly Love, the Red Knight's Tale.
Good. So when people look at it, when people go to see it, when it does come out, then that's what they'll be looking for. And we'll put that in the description so people will know that full title.
Right.
So it'll be
Mhm.
easy for them to find it. You know, Brotherly Love. It's like that bond between two brothers, right? So, how did you ensure that neither overwhelmed the other, like neither character overwhelmed the other character?
Well, it's just a skill of writing, isn't it? It's
Mm,
just a matter of using your common sense and your imagination, I suppose, with your intelligence. I've been blessed with being, having the ability to write fiction, I suppose, base it on truth.
mm-hmm.
So I haven't had any problem with sort of balancing it at all. It's just as it's come out, it's been okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow. You know, what was it like to put this on paper with all of the things that you've seen and all the things you've gone through, to actually be able to write a book and to see it in front of you? What is that like?
well, it's a when I actually looked at when I reread it after I'd written it and amended it somewhat, I thought to myself, I can't believe that I wrote this because it's just too it's too good for me to have written. I don't. As I said, I thought it was just in my imagination. I hadn't written it at all. So that's the truth as well. I'm not sort of making it up. So I'm not trying to brag or be big headed or anything. It's just what happened when I reread it. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Did you remember some of the stuff that you put in there, or did you kind of go along with the story afterwards and go, "Oh my gosh, I forgot I did that."
no, I remembered it all, but I had to be reminded by reading it again because I had a bad car crash and I lost a lot of my memory.
Mm,
So everything that I did know, I forgot. But
right.
it's all come back to me now. But when I read this, I edited it, and then as I said, when I reread it, I thought, well, it's bloody good, is this? And that might have some potential.
Right. Now you have that antagonist feel like the villain, and it's more present. Like, what response do you want it to invoke from the readers?
Um, well, I don't know. I don't, it's just I don't want the children to be too scared, and I've written the antagonist as being a bit of an object of ridicule, although he is a sort of he, he is a sort of he's an object of amusement.
Uh huh.
It's there. I've got it. And he's nasty at the same time. But he's a typical loser really, because no matter what he in the scripts, no matter what happens and what ideas he has, they always fall. They always go pear shaped. If you know what that means in America. In America. So it's a flop. Everything's a flop, and he gets more and more frustrated. So, but it makes a joke out of horror really, which is what I think children ought to be. There's too much horror in the world
Oh
already, so
yeah.
it's just entertaining, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did this? Okay, you can put the book down until later. What did did this writing process? What I mean, because you're clairvoyant and because you were writing about an adventure, I kind of feel like you might have gone on an adventure yourself during the writing process. Did you feel anything different? Did something happen during the writing process to kind of jerk you back a little bit?
No, no, I can't say I did. It's just it's in there, and I just decided to write it, and it just came out.
That's so good.
Through I
You
don't
know
know.
what? You're blessed. Definitely blessed. Not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can just go, "Oh, I just want to write a book and here it is. Here's the book."
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I am blessed. There's no doubt about it. I am. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Now, okay, so you have your story, you have everything. What were the moment or the scene that demanded more emotional courage from you as a writer? I mean, because there had to be the adventure really takes you on an adventure.
yeah. Well, it's just the scene where the children are sat with the mother with the the nasty piece of work having their dinner. That's sort of it takes me back to sort of childhood memories of my own
Mm,
but it's based on really the bit about well, I won't go into the details because I don't want to give the plot away.
mm-hmm,
But that's the one that's the most meaningful, and it sort of hurts my heart more than any of the other ones.
mm, mm. Did you feel protective for this story at any point in the
No,
process?
no, no,
Mm,
no, I didn't. No, I just wrote what came out, and that I was quite happy with that, and what anybody wanted to do with it,
mm-hmm.
they could really. But I mean, I didn't write it to be famous or anything. I just wrote it as I don't know, a challenge, I suppose.
I hear you. Okay, so if a director were to get this movie or get this book and make it into a movie, I should say, um,
Mm.
what would be the I would say, what would be the emotional imprint, or what would be the qualities that you would want to actually come and be?
Yeah. Well, I think it must be difficult being the director, but I would give the director carte blanche. Really, I mean,
Hmm.
having read the script, he's got to sort of adapt it to what he thinks suits him the best, hasn't he? If
Yeah,
I mean, if he wanted not to come to Yorkshire and to do it in the US, I mean, he could resort to Huckleberry Finn country, couldn't he, or something like that. Or
I got
um, and if he wanted me to help him, I'd be quite happy to come and stand by his side if he wants to film it wherever he wants to film it, just to give him sort of a rough idea of my imagination and what I meant by what I wrote. But I mean, it's all there in black and white anyway, and I don't think he needs any. I think I wrote it quite lucidly, and he should be able to sort of pick up any sort of emotion that's coming out of the words.
you. Hmm.
But I'm happy to help him if he needs any help, you know.
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that because it's your book, and there's so many books have come to life through movies now. If you could sit beside your younger self and you're watching your film, you're watching the book, what do you imagine your younger self would feel?
Well, I just think that I was watching my own life,
Hmm.
what's happened to me so far up to the age of 10, and I'm just seeing everything that had happened to me in my own life. So I'd be quite amazed, I suppose, by watching a film about myself.
Wow. Wow, that'd be cool. Now, okay, so you've lived this unconventional full life, right? What is the next goal, or is there another story? I know that you were talking about or hinting about it being maybe more than one book.
Yeah, I wrote it without an ending. Well, I
Mm,
wrote it with the ending being the beginning of another one, so carrying on the adventure. So I've started the
nice.
sequel, and I'm sort of like about, I don't know, probably a fifth of the way through the second story, the second adventure. So, and I've no problem about doing the other one. You know, it's all in there. It's just a matter of um, the way you write. It's just sometimes that you come to a bit of a dead end, and you've got to think of where it's going to go after this. If you see what I mean.
Yeah,
But
yeah, wow.
I'm looking forward to finishing the sequel. The same characters are in it, but it's progressed. Anyway, I won't go into it in detail, but I mean, it's looking good anyway. It is looking good.
That is so cool. I am so happy for you. Oh, well, if I'm ever in Yorkshire, I will definitely stop by and
All
bother
right.
you.
Well, it'd be good. You can always come round for a cup of tea, darling, anytime you want.
I love tea. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
had my tea time. I have it here too. So yeah, just
We'll
yeah.
get it in.
I'm there. I'm there with you. I'm there with you, Alan. Thank you so much
Okay.
for being on the show. I want to thank you guys again so much for tuning in. And until next time, guys. Bye. Alan, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
You
God
too.
bless. Yes.
Thank you for watching.